Hey guys, Mugen here. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to share something with you guys. This is a game that is pretty near and dear to me because it's my first, well, I would say RPG, although I'd say it's more accurate to call it more of an adventure game, maybe closer to something like Zelda, but it's the closest thing to an RPG that I had ever played when I played it as a kid. Now, the game's called Times of Lore. It's made by Origin. These are the guys that made the Ultima series. Now, I realize that at this point they had already released Ultima 1 through 4, and I believe Ultima 5 came out the same year that this came out. But this is probably my first experience, well, it is my first experience with something resembling an RPG. So it's a biggie for me. Now, I've seen some videos on YouTube of this game on the NES. It was released on the NES and the Commodore 64, but I played it as a kid on the Commodore 64. That's what my dad had, so that's what I'm going to be showing you. But I thought this would be a good game to share with you guys because, you know, I talk a lot about RPGs in the videos that I've done so far. And this is kind of where that all got started for me, so I thought you guys might be interested to see that. I hope you guys like it, so here we go. In the kingdom of Albereth, chaos stirs in the land. 20 years past, Vaelwyn, the High King, had newly ended the 10-year war, driving back the invading barbarians. Longing for rest, he departed for the homelands to renew his strength. The king left the lands in the care of his steward, a trusted lord of the kingdom. The king never returned. As the only child of a woodsman and his wife, you have seen the troubles that the High King's absence has brought upon the weary land. The barbarians are once again pressing hard on the borders. As bands break through to roam and pillage, there is internal disunity. The steward tries to keep a semblance of order and harmony, but is unable to command the powers of the High King. The great lords keep to their lands and castles, thinking mainly of their own security, refusing to cooperate. Some lords, mainly those who guard the marches, are developing forces of their own. The use of assassins is becoming common amongst those who desire to settle their grievances. The wizards, the keepers of the old ways, are given to reclusive contemplation. Their appearances become more and more unusual as disorder unfolds. The Archmage, formerly the confidant of the High King, has been unseen for many years, and is thought to have secluded himself within a distant tower in another dimension. A new breed of dark priest, ascetic but practical devotees to the rituals, whose cult resides in the distant mountain vales, begun spreading their faith steadily through the kingdom. Life is slowly changing in Albereth. The scattered farms are disappearing, and the populace has begun to seek the refuge of walled cities and the protection of castles. Only the hardy still abide in isolation, or small hamlets. Food has become scarce, craft and commerce are less common. Trade routes now lie along the rivers by sea. Travel into the interior is uncertain and often dangerous. There is still sea trade with lands to the south and north, but dealings with the homelands have ended. Your family refused to take refuge within the city walls, but sent you to stay with a wealthy but childless uncle in the capital. Erelon, the emerald city of the Elden Conquerors, is the very heart of Albereth, through which travelers and their stories pass constantly. Recently, new rumors have begun to fly. Some say a mass attack by the barbarians is imminent, that the wizards and their protection are finally lost. Others speak of strange messages received from the High King and his archmage, Iriel. What is certain is that the steward has summoned a council to gather the remaining powers of the kingdom, the foretelling stones whose keeper is the warden of the northern marches, the tablet of truth, held by the southern marcher Lord Hadric, and the ring of the Archmage. Together it is hoped these magical artifacts can summon back the High King and his medallion of power, the spiritual keystone of the realm and the source of high kingship. Tension rises as the powers and their keepers are slow in arriving. Well-known adventurers are being summoned to undertake risky but well-paying missions. Your uncle has just passed on, and eager to prove yourself, you decide to seek adventurous employment and what it will bring. You set out in search of a meeting place where adventurers might hope to be recruited. Aided by your uncle's wealth, you've been free to choose your own life's course and perfect your skills. The moment hath arrived in which you must choose the one who shall bear your fate. Here stand a knight of unfailing courage, a Valkyrie both strong and beautiful, and a barbarian of matchless might. We're going with the barbarian because Conan is fucking awesome. Oh yeah.